This is Jack Olmsted with 4-H Network News, and I'm here with Jim Anderson. He was on the committee to get this wonderful skateboard park here in Port Townsend. Welcome to the show, Jim.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So tell us a little bit of the history about the Jefferson County Skateboard Park.
This park dates back almost 16 years. There was a couple local skaters here that was just relentless in bringing skate obstacles to this same spot. Most of it was wood. As soon as they'd leave it, the city would come and take it away. They'd build more, bring it back.
When you say wood, explain the wood you're talking about.
Wood ramps. They had a wood pyramid that they skated, a couple little launch ramps.
And where was that located?
It was right here on this same spot when it was the old parking lot. And eventually the city just decided that it was a good enough spot and allowed them to leave it. And eventually somebody ponied up some money and built some nice stuff.
What kind of money did they pony up?
I don't imagine it was a whole lot, maybe $5,000-6,000. But we did have we had a mini ramp and some nice obstacles. It was a fun park. It was kind of hard on the parking lot because it was asphalt. But
Hard in the skin, too.
yeah, very hard on the skin.
This stuff here, people can slide, can't they?
Yep. It gets a little slippery.
So what occupies your day down here?
I come down and just hang out. I spend a lot of time cleaning up the park. I'm trying to water the lawn and keep it growing, keep an eye on things, help the kids if they need help.
Are you growing a lawn for what?
Well, we're going to get a picnic table over there once the lawn grows. And it's nice to have the lawn because it cuts the dust down too. We have a real dust issue here. And I keep an eye on the kids, and if there's any problems, I'm here to help. And I have my own skate shop too, so I usually give them stuff if they need it.
Where's your skate park or skate shop?
I'm actually global. When the logistics of opening a shop with a storefront came around, I ran the numbers, and it just didn't make any sense for me to limit myself to one location, and it was expensive. So I operate out of my house, and I'm global and international. I ship anywhere on the planet.
How about a plug for your global store?
Okay, my shop is Skid Row Skate. I just sent a package off today to Hong Kong. So I do a lot of business with Japan and Denmark, of all places.
You got a website?
skidrowskate.com.
And what can people see up there?
I've got a few of my featured riders. I've got my store on there. I also design and build ramps myself. So that's a way people can get a hold of me if they want their own backyard ramp.
So why are you here in Port Townsend, Jefferson County?
I actually came down here on an old wooden boat that I bought up in Alaska. Everybody told me this is the place to work on a wooden boat, and came down the inside passage and ended up staying. It's a nice town. I like it here.
So how much money did they have to come up with for this park?
It was done in kind of two phases. They applied for a grant for $200,000. A skater's mom did it, and her son.
Skater's mom? What was her name?
Her name...
How many years ago?
This was like 6 years ago they applied for the grant, and the city actually had the money for quite a few years. They did a match of the grant for $200,000, and then they ran over budget, so we ran like $465,000 to get the park built. But it was built by one of the premier builders in the world. Dreamland built this park, and they're noted as like number 2 or 3 in the world.
Down in Portland?
They are. They're out of Lincoln City, I believe, is their base.
Is the city done with this location now that the concrete is poured? You got 2 really nice looking bowls?
Yeah, this is pretty much it. We've got just the lawn to finish, and maybe we'll get a barbecue if we're lucky, and the picnic table's all we're looking for now.
Yeah, you're down here with a couple of brooms too. Let's talk about the brooms.
Well, I usually sweep up. It gets with the wind blowing, it gets dusty. The trees leave leaves, and it's such perfect concrete. They've sealed it, and a little dust gets really slick. So I try to keep it clean.
What are you riding these days?
I'm actually riding a Santa Monica Airlines board built by Skip Englum. He was one of the original Zephyr team captains. He owned the shop down in Santa Monica. I ride for him, and great guy. Still building skateboards after all these years.
Are there any tricks that you can't do these days?
Lots. Yeah.
When do you know that it's time to quit doing a trick?
When I can't make it and get hurt, as a rule. But I'm really not so much into tricks. I like to skate fast. I like to carve the bowl. That's pretty much all I skate. I can't ollie, so I can't even come and do much in the street section. I'm just kind of a bowl troll.
You been in the hospital?
No, I've had not overnight, but yeah, in the last 3 months I've broken bones twice. So
You're still back at it.
still back at it. I figure I've only got a few more years left. I'll be 50 in a few months. So.
When did you start?
I actually started skating in the 60s, mostly for transportation, getting around. It was kind of a toy. Gave up in the 70s when things really started getting interesting. And then when the movie Dogtown and Z-Boys came out, I remembered all of it, came back, thought, well, I could still do that, I'll bet. And
Tell us a little bit about that movie.
Dogtown and Z-Boys is a documentary that pretty much focuses on how skateboarding started and grew into an extreme sport. The riders in Santa Monica on the Zephyr team really took it to the limit at the time. Urethane wheels had just come out, so that enabled them to go faster, and they were grippy. They during the droughts in California in the early 70s, there were a lot of empty swimming pools. So somebody got the idea that that could be skated, and they spent months just scouting out swimming pools to skate. And that was pretty much the birth of extreme skating. The first aerials were done in those swimming pools in the 70s, and that's when it really started.
How'd you get out here to Port Townsend?
Kind of a roundabout way. I moved up to Sun Valley and lived there for a couple of years.
Sun Valley, you're into skiing or snowboarding?
Yeah, I was a skier since I was a little kid, and went from there to Alaska, and that's where I bought my boat and found my way down here.
That's right, the wooden boat. Are you still living on the boat?
No, not living on the boat anymore. Still have the thing, but hoping somebody will come along and take that off my hands soon.
Well, how much are you charging for the boat these days?
I don't know. Best offer will take.
This is Jack Olmsted with 4-H Network News at the skate park in Port Townsend, Washington.